guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, got an email from a subscriber. This guy is 24 years old, and he is in a situation with a bunch of drama with his family. And he's looking for my help with regards how best to handle the situation. You're going to see, guys, that he is 24, and his family, his mom and dad divorced in 2010 when he was only 12 years old, and his mom got sole custody of him and his brothers. Shocker. And pretty much from that moment on, 12 years old, he took care of the family. He was the caretaker. He's described his younger brothers, the apartment, all that. And it sounds like pretty much he became the parent while the mother became the child. He got the hell out of Dodge when he was 18 to go off to tech school and everything, and he hasn't been back since. And there's been all this turmoil and drama with his mom, where he found out that back, I guess about 8 months ago or something, she tried to end her own life. And it turns out because she had all these financial problems and all that. Not even going to touch that one. And so now he's been sending her money and all that, and he feels like he's just being used for money, and it's just a never-ending problem here. And I thought it'd be a very good one to go over and talk about, guys, because a lot of you guys, there isn't anybody out there that hasn't had some turmoil with family, okay? That's one of the biggest causes of drama in people's lives, and the one that a lot of people cannot cut off when it gets to be too far, because there is the point it has to. The problem is people have that mentality, well, it's family, and they'll endure never-ending drama and bullshit because they feel bad, and it just decimates and causes so much problems in their own lives, both emotionally and financially, especially when you have a leech of a family member that keeps being in trouble. So that'll be a very good one to go over here, guys. You'll see it in his story, what's going on, and I'm going to break it down at the end what I think you got to do, or anybody else in a situation like this. Because again, I thought it'd be a very good one, because all of us have family, and all of us has at least one family member that brings turmoil into our lives. And there's the point when you have to actually cut them off if it goes too far. So it starts off, he says, hello SSM. I first want to say that I love your videos. They help so many of us out here in the wild. Today I come to you for some advice. Please excuse the lengthiness of this email. There's a lot to unpack here. To start, I feel as I have to describe my family life. I'm a 24-year-old man living 1,000 miles away from my family. I moved out in 2019 and have not wanted to ever move back. That ought to tell you something. My family has not been so well off since my parents divorced in about 2010. I can't remember the exact year. It was a rough time. After the divorce, my mom got custody of my two brothers and I. Shocker. And you're going to see his mom obviously isn't very fit to be taking custody of his brothers and him, but she got custody anyway, because you know how that works. Being the oldest, I was forced into the role of caretaking of my brothers and the apartment that we lived in. I lived with my mom until I graduated high school in 2016. After I graduated, I moved in with my dad to go to tech school that I was going to. In this time, I had little contact with my mom and saw her once or twice a year. I graduated tech school in 2019 and got a job in the middle of the country. With all that said, I do love my family. They can, however, be a fuck ton of drama. With all that said, I can move on to the actual situation. Okay, so from a young age, he had to become an adult. Now, I got no problem taking responsibility from a young age, but it sounded like he became the parent and the mom became the child. That's what I'm connecting the dots here, okay? Taking care of the younger brothers. I'm sure he was probably doing a lot. I'm sure by the time he was 16, he had a job. He was contributing to the household, and I got no problem helping out, but it seems like this guy held it all together and got the hell out of Dodge the second he was 18, and, well, watch what happens. In February this year, my mom attempted to end her own life. She almost succeeded. After that, I found out that she'd been in financial shambles. I offered to help her in any way possible, and she has asked for a lot. So far this year, I've given her about $3,600. This bothers me because the only time she calls or texts is only to ask for money. There you go. I just think that if I bit it while I was out here, meaning if he died, the only way my family would find out is if they asked for money one day and got no response. At this point, I hate calling to talk to her because it makes me feel like a tool. Most of the time, I get stuck with voicemail, which worries me because of what happened this year. I guess I just want to get some advice on what you think of the situation. Am I justified in feeling used, or should I just try to ditch the little bitch syndrome and suck it up? Please feel free to make this video whenever you like, and please refer to me as Roma in the story if you do end up using it. Thank you. All right, man. So, yeah, you're in a tough situation, and there are people that get caught up in this type of thing. Two things. As you said, your mom's, you said financially she's in shambles, and she tried to end her own life not too long ago. That's a hell of a lot to deal with. You're 24 years old. I'm going to guess, since you're the oldest, your mom is probably late 40s. Not much older than me. So between what you're telling me here and the fact that you were pretty much ran the show from 12 years old on, it sounds like your mom doesn't have it exactly together, even though she got full custody of you guys, which obviously it sounds like she shouldn't. Now, you're a little vague here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if she's being evicted from her apartment. I don't know if her credit cards are maxed out. I don't know if the bank is repossessing her car. There's a lot of things that are left out here. But the point is, she got herself into a mess. And now you're left to clean it up. And I don't hear anything about your brothers helping out here. And you feel used. So there's a point, guys. I'm all for helping family. I really am, as long as they are grateful for your help and you don't feel like you're being used. But he sounds like they're not grateful and they expect it. And that ain't cool. So for your mom, since she's your mom and you obviously love her, even though she's making you crazy, if you haven't done it already, time for a sit down with her and find out where all the problems are. You're making this effort this time to find out where all the problems are. Is she a shopaholic? Did she lose her job? All these things why she's in financial shambles. And help her to get back on track. If she's unwilling to help, you're out of there. It's not your job to pay off all her bills for reckless spending or being irresponsible or anything like that. You got to take care of you. Now, again, if she is receptive and is grateful for the help, and will listen and will work with you, then okay. But if she is just simply going to be a drain on you financially and emotionally, you can't deal with that, man. You're a young guy. You're 24 years old. You're your own freaking man trying to start your own life. And how can you do that being dragged down? So I'd recommend, if you haven't done it already, you sit her down, you try to work out what the problems are and go from there. And if she obviously tried to end her own life, her emotions are in la-la land. And she very much, in my opinion, needs some professional help to seeing a therapist and all that. And because if not, it's going to keep happening. Now, you said that she came very close to ending her own life. I have personal experience in this with a family member I'm very close to, multiple times trying to end that individual's own life. And in my opinion, when people really want to end their own lives, they will. Otherwise, it's a cry for help, whether it be because they really need help or attention, I don't know what. I would meet with her, if you haven't done so already, trying to figure out the root cause of the financial problems and try to work out a plan. If it's so bad she needs to see a bankruptcy attorney, that could be an option there. But I don't know the whole story. And also the care she needs to get in terms of with regards to her ending her own life. It means therapy or other things. You got to explore that option. But here's the thing. It can't be just on you. You're the oldest, sure, and you have younger brothers. I don't know how old they are, but I'm assuming at this point they're older than 18. They can help too. It can't be just all on you. But you're the oldest, I'm the oldest, and I know how that works. So everybody expects you to do everything. That's bullshit. You had to grow up real quick when you were younger. So what I would do, again, like I said, is just sit her down, figure out the problems are, and try to help her. But if it seems like you're just going to be a money pit, that the only reason that they're talking to you, she or maybe your other brothers, is simply to get money, and at that point, and unwilling to make any changes to fix her situation or show any appreciation, at that point, then you have to really consider cutting them off. And I know it sounds harsh, and I'm sure maybe you and other people watching thinking, I could never do that. It's my family. Well, they don't care about you. That $3,600, to some people, that's a lot of freaking money. To other people, that's no big deal. It just depends on how much money you make and have and your expenses and all that. But regardless, that's $3,600 it could be for you. Now, I'm cool with that if it's like a one-time thing or you're helping her on a road recovery, but it really sounds like you're being used. And I don't think that makes you a little bitch for being bothered by that, because you shouldn't be used. She's a grown-ass woman. She is your mom, your parent, but she's acting like the child, and you got to be the parent. And that's a trap that some people get themselves into, or at least not get themselves into, but are involved in it with their families. So I would talk to the other siblings, I'd talk to her and all that. And at that point, she's not willing to do anything to fix her situation. If she's going to keep doing the same things that get her into financial shambles, I don't know what. Maybe she doesn't want to get a job. Maybe she's a shopaholic. Maybe she has unrealistic lifestyle standards with regards to money. I don't know what. Then there's a point you're going to have to say, look, I love you. I've tried, but you're not willing to listen to me. You're not willing to get help, and I can't be. You're being a leech to me. I can't be taken advantage of. So I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm done. And that's the hardest thing when you reach the point having to say you're done. To look that person, even though they're making you crazy, your mom, your dad, your siblings, you love them. I'm done, because this is going to be a constant thing in your life, because they know, both your mom and it sounds like your siblings, you're always going to be there no matter what. They can always get something out of you. And that's not cool, okay? Because how are you going to go about making the life that you want when you constantly have them bringing turmoil into your life and sucking you dry for money? Because that's money you could have for you. Whether it be to get something you need, use it for a down payment for a condo or a house, for a car, for an investment, whatever. Because I guarantee that $3,600 you spent so far this year ain't going to stop. That's going to keep going on. And there are people in this world that are leeches and will use people, and they don't care. So, bro, I would sit down and do some soul searching this weekend, figure out a plan. If it hasn't been done yet, like I said, arrange a time that you go see your mom, talk to her, find out all the problems, what they happen to be, and see if she's receptive to working, and really receptive to working on it. But also, if she hasn't gotten the therapy yet and things like that, because trying to end their own life is no joke. Okay, and also getting your other siblings involved and other family involved. I don't know why they divorced. I'm sure your dad is probably like, so yeah, this is why I divorced her, or I don't know what. Again, he didn't give a lot of information, but I'm sure she has family as well. And then there's a point you try all that you have to say you're done. And I know it sounds harsh. I know it sounds like you can't do that, but trust me, I've been there. And there's a point you have to draw a line, otherwise it's going to keep bringing turmoil into your life. But you'll figure it out. You'll be okay. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think. Any of you guys have been in a situation like this with family where they've had a lot of problems and bringing it into your life, or they've been trying to get a lot of money out of you. Let this guy know, because I know I got guys watching me all over the world, all walks of life, that could share their little experiences. We'll help this dude out, okay? Because I'm not getting a whole lot of information from him, just the basics. She's financial shambles, tried to end her own life. He's become the adult. I could use more. If I had more information, I could help him. I'm doing the best I can. But share your stories, guys, in the comment section. Let this guy know any tips or suggestions to help him out. And also let him know if you agree with me, there's a point you draw the line, say, that's it, no more. And it's a very, very hard thing to do that. And again, this guy's young. He's 24, okay? I dealt with a lot of shit in my very early 40s, right around late 30s, early 40s with a family member like this. And even then, much older, it was very hard to deal with. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below again, and be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.